All right, it is always a pleasure to talk to my next guest. I call him a friend because that's what he is. It's the owner and lead promoter for Ammo Fight League, whose next event will be on August the 7th at the Big E, and it's coined the return. And it's Bill Vigil on the show. Bill, how are you?
How are you, Ryan? How you doing, buddy?
I'm
Thank you
good.
for having me on.
Well, thank you, and I'm excited for this next event. Unfortunately, it hasn't come with some hurdles that you've had to overcome. Most notably, we just found out earlier today, Joey Gomez, former UFC fighter, that was going to be making his return to action for your promotion here on the 7th against Jamal Johnson. That fight is no longer going to happen. So, tell us what happened, unfortunately, here with this news.
Everything was going, as planned, but due to situations that are unpreventable from us, Jamal's camp had difficulties with medical documents that they needed to provide. So it's like, we're down to the last minute in the whole process in regards to trying to get everything over to the commission. So the decision was made due to the fact that they could not guarantee us the medical paperwork that we needed just to basically call off the fight. It is what it is. We explained to Joey, and Joey was understandable. You know what I mean? Hopefully we'll have them at our next show in October. But we'll just have to wait and see what occurs. But so.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. And with Joey Gomez coming back, I mean, obviously this is a big deal. This is a guy that was well known here regionally. He makes it to the highest of levels at the top promotion in the UFC and loses to Rob Font and Jose Alberto Quinones. Now 5 years pass and here he is coming back. So I got to imagine it's got to be an utmost priority for you to have him on your upcoming card in October. Is there any opponents that come to mind? Would you match him again with Jamal, or do you feel like somebody else would make more sense?
You know, I'm a visionary. I always look ahead, and it's not like I have one opponent or two opponents. I have various opponents on my roster that I can present to his camp. So it wouldn't be difficult to try to find him an opponent.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that he sold a lot of tickets for this fight. Can you comment on that? And is there going to be any issues as far as maybe people wanting to sell them back? I don't even know how that works. Can you just kind of talk about any issues that
Yeah.
might?
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have a problem, of refunding any online purchases that were done in his behalf, and he would also be able to, refund the tickets that he sold on his own. That's not going to be an issue, I mean, if he tells us that there's still people that want to go there and attend the event, we wouldn't have an issue with that.
Okay. One more unfortunate circumstance I want to bring up before we talk about, Connor Berry, who's on this card, is the Raz Hilton, Pat Walsh fight, the heavyweight bout that everyone was really excited about. Regionally, Bill, we don't get a whole lot of these marquee heavyweight matchups like this. And this is one I know a lot of people were salivating for. So tell me what happened there. And is this a fight that you can rebook for your October card?
That card is almost, that card again was unfortunately canceled due to the fact that Patrick also had, an injury that occurred to him that there was no way that he could have gotten released and also, approved by his physician. So we had to also postpone the fight. We did try to find, a replacement. We did have someone in mind, but I guess it just didn't pan out the way we wanted it. And yes, we will make that fight occur, hopefully in October, with both of those opponents.
Man, that sounds like it's going to be a stacked card. I got to imagine that would probably be a card that really could get a lot of eyeballs here regionally on the sport and in the Big E for Ammo.
Yes. I'm really excited. Matter of fact, we've already booked like about half a dozen fights for that show already.
Wow, that's fantastic. All right, Connor Berry, a staple for the Ammo Fight League promotion, will be fighting on this event against Gary Edwards, a welterweight bout. So let's talk about that fight a little bit. What kind of a fight stylistically are you expecting between Berry and Edwards?
I can't say they have similar type of skills, but it's like we had a list of fighters, and basically felt, who was available and also had all the requirements, because it's not as easy as just finding an opponent and just making it happen. We just got to make sure that both opponents can provide all the required documents, all the required medicals, to be able to allow a fight to go through. And so we looked at all that, and I think these two were available. They were able to provide all the documents and the medicals that we would be able to make this fight happen. So, I can't tell you, what would occur in that fight, but like always, Conor Berry comes to give a show.
Yeah, and he brings a lot of fans with him. I got to imagine he'll have quite a few people there in attendance.
Yes, like I said, like you said, he's very supportive of our franchise. He likes how we do our how we run our promotion. So we have, I think, three other of his teammates also fighting on the card there are making their debut.
Yeah. Very good. I know Conor is also well known for all the ink he has on his body. Is that something you'd ever consider? Would you get a big tattoo like him on your chest?
Yeah, it's so funny that, I have an older son that has tattoos, and growing up, I always wanted some, but I was always a mama's boy. So I would always mention to my mom that I'm interested in getting a tattoo, and my mom would always say, why would you want to do that to your body? So being the way that I was with my parents, man, I didn't do it because of that reason. But I don't regret it. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, the one tattoo I have is on my back, and it's in honor of my father. And he hated tattoos, but I think if he's going to give me a pass for anyone that I get, if it's in honor of him, I think I'd get a pass, right? You'd agree with me being a dad.
Exactly. And that was a tattoo that my son has. My son put a rosary, my mother's rosary, on his arm, and it was in dedication to her and my dad. So it was something I think they would have approved of.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, I know you got a lot of other matchups here on this card on the 7th here at the Big E. Can you just tell me a couple other names that fighters, that fight fans would be excited to see to come fight night?
Well, like the majority of them, believe it or not, they're debut fights. I mean, I can tell you some of the schools that are participating, and they're various schools. But I think all in all, we matched up the fights to be very fair. And I think it's not going to be easy for any one of these guys or females. We have one female fight on the card. We did have one previously, but it fell through. So I think all in all, I wouldn't just, give one name or one franchise out of it. I feel that all the franchises and all the fighters that are participating on there are going to give a good show. Like, you've been to my shows, Ryan. My shows keep the fans up on their feet, man. And we expect the same thing for this show.
One of the things that I love about attending your shows is the venue. The Big E's fantastic. It's just an awesome place, and the building is huge. It's like a ginormous warehouse, and there's a lot of places for people to walk, to move around, to stand. What's the capacity for this card, and is that something that you can increase moving forward?
Well, we started doing our shows at the Mallory building. The Mallory building has a capacity of 1,800 people, and we've sold that venue out twice. We've moved to the Young building. Okay, the Young building has a capacity of 3,400 people, so it's a humongous venue, and it also has a built-in restaurant and a bar. So the fans are not going to have any problem trying to get drinks, because they're going to have 2 kiosks on both sides of the building selling all types of liquor. And then we got this big 2,200 square foot restaurant that you can get any type of food off of their menu.
Fantastic. It sounds like a great time, a great event for people to go and check out. Now, as far as putting up the cage and all the legwork that you guys have to do to set up for fight night, run me through that process. What is that like? How long does it take you to get everything in place to put on a show, and a safe show at that?
Well, besides just the cage, we also got to put the barricades. We got to do all the seating. We got to set up the locker rooms, the entrance, the ticketrons and all that. They usually do that 2 days before the show. So they'll do that on the 5th of August 5th. on a Thursday night. They'll set everything up from start to finish. To set up the whole thing, probably about 6 hours. It takes about 6 hours. I got a good dedicated setup crew, you know, that they've been setting up my cage and my chairs and my bike racks, not only for my ammo MMA, but also for my grappling tournament. So yeah, they're on point, and I'm grateful for them.
That's fantastic. I can't wait for this next event. Ammo Fight League, The Return, August 7th at the Big E. I'm glad you mentioned your grappling events that you do, because Top Level Grappling will be back in Massachusetts on September the 18th. So tell me about that. How is that event looking? I know we're a little ways away.
Well, it's on the 24th of this month, and you know, it's a spin-off of my grappling championship tournament. At my grappling championship tournaments, I usually have absolute challenges, and I also have what they call super fights. And I'm limited to 2 super fights at my events because I also have the regular tournament. So I decided to create Top Level, and Top Level is going to be a strictly super fight franchise. For the 24th, we have 32 matches that are set up, and honestly, I think this Tuesday, we're going to shut down our online Ticketron and probably not sell tickets at the door, because right now I think we've met our capacity.
Wow. So this is going to be a massive event. And you see, like, with what Submission Underground does, that's on ESPN Plus. How would you compare what you're doing to Shug? Because they're getting a lot of eyeballs on them. Is this something that's very similar?
Yes, it is. It's very similar. I've set up Top Level like ammo MMA. So when you go to Top Level, it seems like you're going into an MMA show. The matches are going to be occurring on a 22-foot platform. Okay, we're going to have a sound and light production there. We're going to have food and beverages being sold, dress to impress. You know, all the participants are going to make commissions off of all ticket sales. So it's exactly set up like my ammo MMA. And I'm very excited because we've received a great response and support from all schools from all over New England. I'm very, very excited about that. My September 18th is almost already fully booked. So I'm very excited.
Okay, yeah. So when I was talking to Christine, I thought the next one was the 18th. So you have one coming up this month, and then you already have the next one almost booked for the 18th. That's incredible.
Yes, July 24th is going to occur. Next week is going to be, and then right after that, we're gonna announce the September 18th one. It'll be Top Level 2.
Fantastic. Now, I did want to mention, too, I know you've been working with Jacob De Leon of All Access MMA. He's a colleague of mine. I work for him as well. And you're going to be bringing your grappling events to Texas, which is where he's from. Can you give us a little insight as to what your plans are for that?
Well, you know, I guess Jacob has been following ammo for a while, and you know, he reached out to me. You know, we had a good discussion, good conversation. Nice guy. You know, he's all about, you know, the MMA and grappling community. He asked if I would consider bringing ammo grappling down to Texas, and he would host it. And I said, hell yeah, let's do it. So, you know, he's going to be hosting ammo grappling hopefully in October, and I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, that's fantastic news. What are your goals, Bill, for everything that you got going on? Obviously, with your MMA promotion, your grappling here. I mean, you have your hand in a zillion different buckets. Where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now?
Well, I mean, I don't have any specific goal. Like I said, I created the combat affiliation of my company, because my primary company is called Vigil Entertainment, and because I'm a booking agent, that's my primary line of business, and I've always had a passion for, you know, a boxing, you know, kickboxing and all that, and I got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I trained on the Hoist Gracie Academy in Glastonbury, and I feel the whole purpose of what I'm doing is to be able to provide all these athletes, these MMA fighters, these Muay Thai fighters, these boxers, these grapplers, that platform to allow them to showcase their skills, to get them to the next level, to be able to meet their objective. That's my whole purpose. That's my whole objective to this. You know, I'm going to branch out in every type of combat sport there is. I'm in discussion with various people that are associated with these various types of sports to be able to partner up with them and make it happen. I'm very, very excited about a lot of stuff that's being discussed behind closed doors.
Yeah, and I also understand that you are in discussions to get into the boxing game. Can you enlighten me as to where the status is on that?
That's almost a done deal. You know, it's like it just all it's waiting for me is to put my black and white on paper, and it's gonna happen. You know, I'm right now somewhat helping a franchise up in the Boston area for a 31st fight. July 31st fight, and see how that goes. And we're going to sit down after that show and see if we can do a joint venture with Vigil Clan and that affiliated boxing company. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. And as you mentioned earlier, you know, I'm also going to be introducing my Muay Thai promotion called Universal Muay Thai, and that's hopefully going to happen on October 30th of this year.
Yeah, I was just going to say I wanted to fast forward to October because October 29th, that will be the next AMMO MMA event that you have. And then on the 30th, Universal Muay Thai is going to be called the Halloween Brawl. So back-to-back events. I'm assuming they're going to be right in the same building in the Big E on consecutive nights.
Yes, correct. It's going to be under the same roof. You know, Friday, hopefully we're going to get the MMA show. And then, you know, on the 30th, we're going to have, you know, the Hollywood Brawl, our introduction to our Muay Thai promotion. And right now, you know, I'm still waiting for that approval from the commission. You know how that is, you know, but we got a plan B if they don't approve them to occur back to back. So hopefully that's going to occur. But if it doesn't, we're possibly going to try to hold them under the same roof on the same night.
That is fantastic. It'll be a combat sports event, 2 events back to back that you just can't miss. You know, one other thing that I really wanted to, you know, have you talk about a little bit, Bill, is your right-hand woman, Christine Curtis. Literally one of the nicest people I've ever met. She's a complete sweetheart, and she loves the combat sports game. Can you just talk a little bit about what she means to you and the hard work that she puts in to help grow what you're doing here in the combat sports world?
As you mentioned, you know, she's my right hand person. You know, Christine does a lot for the company. You know, and she's appreciated, and she's respected by all the fighters that we deal with all those schools that we deal. She has a good relationship with the commission. I also have a good relationship with the commission. You know, she puts a lot of time and effort, you know, helping a lot of these fighters in regards to getting their medicals done, referring them to where to get certain medical tests done, with their paperwork, with their, you know, their IDs, their applications and all that. So she means a lot to the company, you know, and, you know, she's also going to be affiliated with these other franchises that I'm going to be getting involved with. So it's not that she's going to be just situated with Ammo Fight League, because I feel that what she has can be, you know, basically evened out amongst all the different promotions that I'm going to be doing and working with.
Yeah, she really is an amazing person, and she's great to work with. She's always super accommodating anytime I've come down to cover your shows. So big shout out to Christine. She's wonderful.
Yes.
Again, Bill, I really can't wait. The return Ammo Fight League, August 7th at the Big E in the Youngs building. It's going down. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to join me here today. We definitely have to do this more often, and have to get back on here before your events in October to preview those as well. But before I let you go today, I do want to give you the floor. If there's anyone you want to thank or anything you want to plug, the floor is yours, my friend.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to again give a shout out to you for having me on your show, Ryan. And I also like to thank all the fighters, the fans, the people that have supported us, all our sponsors. We have so many sponsors. We have the Hooters franchise that our main sponsor out there. You know, we have K&M All Star Sports. We have Critical Signs. We have Doyle and Carter at Law. We have the Roadway Inn as one of our sponsors. We have the Nomads, Quest Adventure, Theme Park that are our sponsors, and so many other sponsors. We have Tommy Tattoos Convention has come on board also to become one of our sponsors for one of our events for Top Level. I thank them for coming on board. We have Fit Fitness. They're also going to be vending at our show on August 7th. I'd like to also give a big shout out to all my team, not only for my Level Grappling and MMA, but for all the other activities that I do, because I'm involved with so much stuff, Ryan. And also the biggest shout out to Christine Curtis, the MMA lady, she has the same passion that I have in this sport. And again, we do it because we love it and because we want to be able to help people out there. And with that, I like to say that I wish everybody a great day, a great weekend, and God bless. And thank you again, Ryan.